Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you are an old friend, then welcome back. So, I've got a lot of information coming at me right now. One of the things that I need to say is that I recently did a video called "Why the Fuck Am I Awake Right Now," which is basically about like spiritual warfare. However, Spirit wants me to recognize that sometimes the reason that you are awake right now is because Spirit wants to work with you. Spirit wants to give you downloads. Spirit wants you to, have like your undivided attention kind of thing. So I don't know, maybe I'll do a whole nother video on that by itself. But it is related to this video in that I was given a download. So I kind of want to walk you through this download and what I got and how I got it, right? So basically, it's like you get woken up in the middle of the night or early in the morning, whatever the case may be, right? And for whatever reason, and you just can't go back to sleep. And so maybe you start flipping through your phone and you come across a video or an article or even just, an ad or something, and it kind of, piques your interest, right? So you start like looking further into it, right? Either, you watch the video and you gain information, or the information in the video causes you to go, in search of, deeper knowledge, more knowledge, whatever the case may be. And other times it could just be like a direct message. You have a thought and then you feel like you need to like write it down before you forget it, kind of thing. And it may not even really make sense, but you're just trying to get the thought out, right? You're trying to put it down, like pen to paper. So even if it's at a later date, you can like come back to it and build upon it. Sometimes the downloads come through completely. And other times, maybe, depending on the energy and how strong it is, maybe, a little bit here and there, and or, over time. But it's also just kind of part of the plan. Sometimes God wants you to, start looking at something now and build upon it to understand it at a later date. And like I said, other times it's just like right here and now the full message comes in. This is one of those times. And this is how I get, like when I make these homemade decks and stuff, sometimes this is how I get like a card. If I write a new card, then I might, have like how to download. And so like I went and wrote the card because the message popped into my head. This one is a little bit longer. I could still make a card for it, but in order to explain it, I would need a much, larger space and more time, right? So we're doing a video on this by itself. And let me see. I need to get the other phone. Hold on. Where are you? Other phone, where are you? Here I am. How do you do? All right, let's see. Should have come through. Perfect. Okay. All right, so I already got the other reason for why I am awake right now. Okay. Now, I'll probably make a card, and this is what the card will say, right? This is gonna be the title of the card. Oh, poo. There we go. I'm gonna start that over. It's early. Give me a break. Full proof plan. Okay, foolproof plan. Foolproof plan. All right, so what is a foolproof plan? Well, it is usually a plan that is designed to be so simple reliable and easy to use that it cannot fail. Okay, hold on. I just got another download to help explain this. Right before I got the download, I was looking at that. This is kind of, okay, so sometimes a download can be like, I don't know, kicked off, basically, triggered by certain things. This popped up into my feed, and I started doing like a little bit of research on it, and then suddenly that's when the rest of this message came through. So just letting you know. And this was what triggered it. All right, trigger. Okay. Okay, so simple, easy to use that it cannot fail. Or be used incorrectly. Okay. Okay, so for example, right? Like taking a leap of faith. Or following God or Spirit on a path or journey. Like when Alice goes down the rabbit hole. Right? She follows the white rabbit down the hole in Alice in Wonderland. Okay? Which, you know, for some people is a whole other download, right? I mean, these things are like everything is connected. You know, when you're tapped into spirit anyway, when you understand things on a different level, or many different levels, okay, many different planes of existence, if you understand what that means, if you know, you know. Okay, it takes you, right, so it takes you on a spiritual journey. Right? Where you have a guaranteed successful outcome. Because Spirit already knew you were innocent and would win your case. That's why they chose you to step in, intervene, right? Divine intervention, intervene, or help. Okay? And when I say spirit, I mean the angels. I mean the Egyptian gods, right? I mean, like Anubis. I mean, gosh, I'm so sorry. I can't remember who weighs the hearts, who weighs the feathers and the hearts and feather and the hearts and, and it's like the archangel, like Archangel Michael. And these people are this is like your spirit team, right? Okay. And they're like your legal team in the spiritual realm. All right? And so they're the ones helping to lead you, guide you, to help you plead your case. Right? Calling judgment. Okay? On certain people, places. I don't want to say things, because how do you call judgment on a thing? But maybe. Okay? Where basically you are asking God to step in, to take a look at this situation, to, to verify, confirm, prove, or deny, right? Whether you have been wronged in some way, and, and to deliver justice, right? Justice. In this situation, right? But like from the Most High God, right? The judge. Right? Right? And deliver justice, right? We always want justice to be delivered, because it does no good if it's just sitting there, right? I'm getting, from deliver, I'm getting like delivery service, like Hermes, okay? Right? So, just like Alice, when she goes down the rabbit hole, you might meet a bunch of different characters, a bunch of different spirits, a bunch of different, energies or people along the way. And, some of them may help you, right? And others, you're meant to learn lessons from and things like that. And it's just that's like a whole other thing, okay? But, if you know, you know. Yeah, so that's basically the download in a nutshell. And so part of why I've made this video is because I feel like Spirit wanted me to walk you through the process of receiving a download. And just so you know, it's like this, okay? This in itself is a message from Spirit, okay? Now, this is also a tool, okay? Or can be used as a tool. I can take this, turn it into a card, and if I get enough of these, I can actually turn it into an entire tarot deck that I could then, put out into the public that could end up helping many people. Now, I'm not the first person to do this, right? Okay, there's been many tarot decks made, by many talented, very spiritually tapped in people that have helped many people, right? But this is the goal. Like we want to be using tarot the way that it was meant to be used, which is, to help heal and guide people on their spiritual journeys, right? Because we're talking about like okay, so this is the other thing, right? We're talking about like the Fool card. A fool, proof, as in prove, evidence, right? In a case, we'll say needing judgment, okay? Right? And so then the other thing is, you've got, once you've called for justice and judgment and all that, well, then that justice gets delivered, and that is, right, karma and dharma. Okay? So everybody who deserves their karma gets it in whatever way, shape, or form, and those who deserve their dharma get it in their way, shape, or form. And it's all, it's all one big system, okay? It's one big system of the divine, basically. And so along the way, you are guided by different spirits and things to help you through the process, to help you, also, like the other day, I got a download about, like I the Scribe. I did a video, I was talking about I the Scribe. Well, this is kind of goes along with that as well. I the Scribe, it's like collecting data, collecting evidence, proving your case. So it's like once you get on this spiritual journey, okay, well, once you get on this spiritual journey, you continue along and you meet different entities, energies, and you are meant to, because they all serve a different purpose, you know what I mean? And it could be, it just depends on your particular journey, because everybody's journey is different and everybody's on a different timeline and all that stuff, right? Okay. So you might resonate, I think one of the one thing that is like the constant, the consistent, the one thing that connects all of them is the Egyptian gods. Because the way that this spiritual system basically was set up, or the way that it was explained, the way that we have documented it is like the most accurate to what is truly going on, or what is happening, in order to reflect. It's like the most accurate reflection of like spiritual court, kind of, okay, and how things work. So if you understand the Egyptian gods and each god's purpose and placement and and their story, and if you understand these things, then that is like the basic. This is the most basic, okay? The most basic, and okay, I'm gonna say universal. That is a better word in this case. The most basic or universal understanding of the inner workings of, I'm going to call it spiritual court. Okay. All right. But, you may not only be working with, Egyptian entities, especially depending on your spiritual journey, your particular case, right? Who you're dealing with and what you need done and things like that. You may, and your DNA lineage, right? That matters too. So you may end up along your journey coming into contact with other spirits. I don't even know how to say it, but just like Norse gods, right? Or Greek gods, or celestial, understandings, where like the fairies and the fae and, things like that, okay? And also, this is basically the knowledge, if you want to break it down. It would be like the knowledge of good and evil, okay? And how you use this knowledge is important, because this is hidden knowledge. Okay, it's hidden knowledge. These are things that the powers that be, that control our world as we know it, they know this already. They have known this for generations. This is information that they pass down to one another, but they hide from us, because they know that they are guilty. And if we ever found this out, that we could use it against them. And this is exactly what is happening right now. Okay? Enough people, have become tapped in to spirit and been divinely guided to call judgment on these situations. So to call judgment like worldwide on these worldwide leaders, on these, national leaders, even the local leaders. And then it's like it like the pyramid, right? It trickles down, right? And then it goes, all the way down into like your everyday life. So it's like, once you figure out how to do this, it's like, but in order to like have the most impact, you have to start at the top, which is like the world leaders, right? And we actually, collectively, we did that basically. We called judgment when Trump came, right? When like around 16 to, well, really it was even a little before that, because the time leading up to the election. So like from like 2014 to now is like 2024. Okay, so that's a 10-year span. And so it's like 10 years ago, basically, we started calling judgment on these world leaders. Everything that has transpired between then and now has been, divinely orchestrated, and also an attempt at us, everyday people, trying to call judgment, spiritual judgment, and take back our power from these people for all the shit that they've done, which they know they're guilty of. But they hoped that we would never, because we know that they're too powerful to reach in a 3D court of law. So the only way was spiritually. And so once we figured that out, God helped us get there. God helped us call judgment. And so again, over the last 10 years, we've been doing it on big time scale. So like you have your world leaders, your national, leaders, and then your like local or like state leaders. And then you have your, well, let's just say like your local like church leaders, okay? And then your, well, I hate to say it, but like, your the people closest to you, family and friends. Okay. And so I feel like after 10 years of this, we're now at the point where, we started up here. We've come all the way down the ladder, or, the pyramid. Start at the top and work your way down to the bottom, right? That's how you really create change. And so now I feel like after 10 years of this, we're at the point where, people are calling judgment on their own family and friends, even, because we're nearing the end. And what happens when we near the end is the new beginning, okay? And the new beginning is building a new pyramid, basically. But this one was false or based off of lies, manipulation, pain, sacrifice, things like that. So the new one is going to be built, like between you and the divine, right? It's going to be, this one was lacking in divine because we didn't have, the knowledge. The knowledge was hidden from us. So this one's going to be built with the knowledge of good and evil, the truth. So this one's going to be a firm, stable foundation. And we're going to build upon it, back up a little bit at a time, right? Starting with our own, like people closest to us, our family and friends. And then maybe, you find yourself a new local church. You start choosing better candidates, for your state and nationally. And the rest will follow, you know what I mean? Just naturally, the rest will follow. So anyways, that I wasn't even planning on doing that. That's just kind of what came about, in trying to bring this information to you. So I hope that this has helped you in some way, shape, or form. I hope, if nothing else, it has entertained you for a few moments in time. I hope, if you haven't already, you will like, share, and subscribe to the video and or the channel. And, I've always said from day one, I don't even know what this channel is really going to be. I knew I was doing tarot, but I knew that it was much more than that as well. So I give you what I'm guided to give when I'm guided to give it. And I'm really just trying to do my best to help other people along their journeys. Maybe you're Alice going down the rabbit hole and I'm just one of those funny little characters that you meet along the way. All right. So I hope, again, if you haven't already, you'll like, share, and subscribe to the video and to the channel so that I can see you again. Okay? Bye.